Hello, everybody. And happy Mother's Day. Also to the fathers that are mothers, the siblings that are mothers, the uncles that are mothers, the aunties that are mothers, pretty much everyone who does the mothering. Because being a mother, and Mother's Day actually, which I found out the last few days, has also, besides brought a lot of excitement and a lot of love, it also brought a lot of anxiety and guilt trips and lots of other things. Where we have this wonderful thing, and those that are blessed to have wonderful mothers and consistent mothers, and most of all human mothers, because let's not forget, mothers are really just humans that happened to have children and trying to wing it. Because let's face it, that's what mothers do, and every day your child wakes up, you're not doing too bad, because that's it, there's no manual, and we are human ourselves. But not mother-child relationship is from pure love, without kind of friction, without misunderstandings, without trauma, because we are all human. So where this day is supposed to be one of love, and one of nurturing and one of blessings, it also is often one of, am I doing the right thing? Have I been a horrible mom? Have I been a horrible child? Have I failed my child? Have I traumatized my child? I've been a teacher for many years before I've done this, and I want to say without fail, every single mother and father most of the time was like, oh my God, have I messed up my child? Is he or she okay? Are he or she going to make it? Yes, they're human, they're fine. You're coming from a place of love, you will make it, he or she will make it, be human. And this is about where I actually want to say, I want to call this day not Mother's Day, but Mothering Day. Loving Day, nurturing Day. Because as much as I'm very grateful for those mothers that can be the mothers. But let's face it, there is also mothers that incredibly struggle with being themselves. And when we struggle with being ourselves, we can't be the best mothers, as much as we want to. And then it's very often we pass it on through generations. So where today is a wonderful thing for those that have this wonderful, safe, secure, nurturing relationship. It is not just a biological thing, and it should not be filled with guilt. So if it's the stepmom, if it's your friends, if it's an uncle, if it's an aunt, whoever brings you that nurturing, who wants to be there, who chooses to be there, simply because it's you. For no other reason. Nothing to prove, nothing to earn, nothing to accomplish, simply because it's you. That's the only thing there ever is. We do not have to, or we should not feel that we have to earn this. Love is our birthright. So to all those mothers that go out there every single day and try their best to what they know their best is, with the tools that they have, with the knowledge they have, where they are at, with the filters, with their own traumas and everything, I salute you. And you know what? No, you will not get it right every single time, because you're not supposed to get it right every single time. And who is determining that anyway? And no, your child will not always be happy about what you say and what you do, because you know what? It's not supposed to be. Because that child of yours is supposed to be guided by you and not lived by you. So your child is supposed to push against you at times. It's supposed to agree, it's supposed to disagree, but you should be that safe place to go to and say, like, is it, isn't it? I agree, I disagree. You the guidance, and vice versa. And there's patterns, and there's generation patterns, and there's all of this. So today is a day that brings up a little bit of everything. Let's get away from the traditional kind of like, Mother's Day is only for those that gave birth to children. No, it's not. Mother's Day is for those, not gender specific at all, who is there, who does the mothering. And who wants to do the mothering, and whose mothering is accepted or can be accepted. which is consistent, which brings safety, security, and allows being human on both sides. that can come up and says like, as much as I'm trying to be who I am to you, I need to be that to myself first as well. I often hear, I would die for my child. And I often say like, we need to live for those children, not die for them. That's going to happen inevitably. There we've got nothing to say about that. We've got no influence on that part. But we sure as fudge have an influence on how they're going to live. Are we? Are we? Especially in the last 2 years. We are in survival mode. We are in reaction mode. We're just trying to somehow make it. We've been bombarded left, right, and center with fear. Yet mothering is love. It's supposed to be based on love. Does not mean we cannot also acknowledge the fear and guide it through lovingly, but first with ourselves before we do it with others. Mothering is not just for others. It got to start with us. We got to self-mother, self-nurture, self-care. As they said, what's in is what's coming out. Pardon? What we are full of is what we pass on. And this whole guilt thing of when we have difficult relationships with the mother, with the father, with any family member pretty much, or vice versa. Some people are better left from a distance. And it's not because we don't love, because we do love. Boundaries not against people, they're for. And sometimes we need them further, and sometimes we need them closer. As much as sometimes people want to love us the right way, their right way might not be your right way. But it's more about them and not us. And it's incredibly hard to learn when we grow up in that, because that's becoming a blueprint. But the typical, very often the joke is well like, oh yeah, I mean, I'm like that from childhood. My mom was like that, my dad was like that. So I've got, that's it. No, that's not it. The moment we realize that we have a choice. And with every generation, we have the choice. The very conscious choice of repeating it, of shifting into love, adding on to love, or what we want to contribute, how we want to show up within that. But all of it is like love needs to be lived. Through mothering, through being, through joy, through living. And we haven't done a hell of a lot of that in the last 2 years. We're human, and that's okay. And this whole, I've done this wrong, I've done that wrong, and I wasn't a good mom, I wasn't a good this constant like, or I should feel like that, and I should feel, or I can't be a mom. Lots of people have found it very difficult to fall pregnant, and it becomes such a huge psychological thing, like I'm only worthy if I'm a mom, or I'm only worthy if I'm a dad. You're worthy either way. Yes, it's a wonderful thing if you choose that. Or then guilt trips, I don't want to have children. Now the society goes like, what's wrong with you? Nothing, I've just chosen not to have any, and there's nothing wrong with children, there's nothing wrong with me, it's just not a combination that I choose. Happy kids, happy here, happy everything, no, something wrong. No, there is not, it's just not my conscious choice. And this is it, we need to step into what's ours. And sometimes that means having it closer or having it further. So whoever does your mothering, and it's not like all of us, and it's literally anxiety building up. I haven't spoken to my mom the whole year. Now it's Mother's Day, so I better rock up with flowers. Why? Why? Do you want to do that because you truly want to do that? Or are you doing that because the neighbors might pick up that you're not doing it? Or is otherwise the uncle going to phone you and cock all over you? Why do you want to do that? Because if you do not do it because you want to do it for the right reasons, which you decide what's the right, don't do it for window dressing. If it's not genuine, it's not from love. And it's not about pointing fingers of wrong or right, it isn't. There is only two notions, two emotions in this world, and that's love and it's fear. There's a million ways that love shows up, and there's a million ways that fear shows up. And if it does not come from love, if it doesn't feed you, don't do it, or find a different version that you're okay with it, that it's at least neutral to you. You do not owe anybody to be in a fear, guilt state. And sometimes it's yours, sometimes it comes from others. It's for yours what you want to do with it. No more window dressing. If we can't be showing up genuine, don't show up. It's not about wrong or right. How many people do we know is like, oh, this one is horrible to this one, and this one is horrible to this one, and this one needs to apologize to this one, and this one is really faulty. And she said that 5 years ago to that one, that's why this one is not talking to that one. Well, clearly it ain't important to them. Sometimes the conflict serves us more than the closeness, because the conflict allows us to not having to deal with things. So at the end of the day, I think if anything over the last 2 years, we need to have more love. We need to have more like create and show up, allow, engage or disengage with what brings us love. Whatever form that might be, gratitude, joy, and let go. And sometimes also stop being so freaking stubborn. All of us can be stubborn. All of us. He needs to say sorry first. I need to say, okay, do you value the relationship? Yes or no? Does it feed or deplete you? Yes or no? The rest is fine print you can really do without. Let's get over this. The world is in the place it is right now because of ego. Everybody wants the fluffy stuff, but everyone else has to start. And today's about love. It's about genuine love. It's authentic. And yes, people can be faulty, people can mess up, people will mess up. It's in the nature of it, they're human. You messing up, I'm messing up, everybody's messing up. So today about mothering, may it be about love, mothering. Let yourself be a safe place for you, most of all, because then the outside world cannot shake you as much. Mother yourself, of course, love and absolutely show your gratitude for people, but does not mean that people that you love and vice versa have carte blanche either. Love does not mean anything goes. And not anything that's wrapped up as love is love either. So very often when people say when there's family conflicts, they say like, life is short. Yeah, and toxic is toxic. So if it's a long toxic life or a short toxic life or a long loving life or a short loving life is how I participate in what I allow. But we allow a lot of things when we feel we're not worthy of love. And that is the worst thing we could ever believe of ourselves, because it's the furthest from the truth. We are not here to in any way or form prove anything. We come from love, through love, and we are pure love. And then we get caught in that we have to earn it and you have to believe it. Kids play games, parents play games at times. Sometimes they know it, sometimes they don't know it. Sometimes we live through them, sometimes the other way around. We people. We do what we can, how we know. Some are more capable than others, some are more willing than others, and that is okay. How we participate is up to us. So all those wonderful people, and I want to say those that have a harder time, they're not necessarily horrible. They're caught within their own. Half of them don't even know the effect that they have, or at least not consciously the effect that they have on others. And some love too much with others. How many do we know, like, he or she really loves her, but needs to step back a little bit? We all know those people as well. They are having the best heart in the world, but they find it hard to see where their end and the other person starts, because they only define themselves through others. So it comes from an incredibly good place, but they've forgotten to include themselves into it. And this is where this is. In all this loving, we need to also include ourselves, and we need to know. And especially mothers, or those that hold the role of mothers, of caring and of nurturing. I've seen it in so many areas, in families, in care environment. I worked in children's homes, in social environments, in foster families, and families where they're just taken in other family members' children because it's a multi-mix, whatever setup. There's always the whoever has the mother roles that are completely being the martyrs, and they don't have a life. And The best way of that we can teach children how to live is living. The best way how we can teach children how to live is loving ourselves, and with that automatically that's what's pouring out. So again, with all the Mothering Day, I'm not sure how long I'm allowed to talk here, because I can do this for hours. See how long, okay. So, but today, I'm going to officially just rename it Mothering Day, and Self-Love Day, and Self-Nurturing Day. So all these wonderful mothers out there, which mine clearly is one of them, so she's here for a change. She's normally overseas, so thanks, Mom. For all those that I'm allowed to be there as mothers too, I've got stretch mark-free blessings, so which I think is the best of all deals, not giving birth to them and having the absolute pleasure of being a mom. So there are so many versions of being there and showing up, and because you can, and then that is a gift. And if it's a gift, embrace it. If it comes like a little bit as a mixed bag, take the part that feeds you and kind of have a few found boundaries for those that are not that healthy maybe. And let's not forget we are all people. We are all people. And the moment we are older, it's up to us and how we show up within that. And up to then, all we can do is bring with the best intent from the best place that we know to those that we live. So let me finish this with a little poem kind of thing, and it's a typical Heike thing. I find a poem and I add on and I start mixing and mingling the things. So here we go. I hope you live louder. I hope you laugh more. I hope you drive with the windows down and let the hair rustle through your hair. I hope you hug. I hope you kiss. I hope you surround yourself with people who make you feel alive. I hope you learn to say no like a toddler on a sugar high. I hope you become the type of person who does unapologetically you with wild abandon. I hope you speak what's on your mind and make your voice heard. I hope you blast the music and dance in the rain. I hope you have ice cream for breakfast and lunch in pajamas. I hope you love and adore yourself with the greatest enthusiasm. I hope that you take that little inner child of yours by the hand and paint rainbow unicorns and make chocolate donuts. I hope you sprinkle your awesomeness and uniqueness like confetti everywhere you go. And if people look at you askew, throw some more. I hope you tell others that you love them right now and in every moment you feel that way. But most of all, I hope you tell yourself that you are the biggest gift you've ever received. I hope you allow yourself to live louder and shine brighter than ever before, for you have always been worthy, for you come from love, through love, and are never, ever anything less than love. Happy Mothering Day.